$2,500 a year. What if you hit, what if now, remember, now you have more people in on the game, the fun of the inviting game. 1 star, maintain that, 20 grand. An extra 20,000. Even that right there would change people's lives. That would change people. This right here is the magic number. Almost an extra $1,000 a month. You show people how to make an extra grand a month on the side. I mean, we're talking, that's a house payment for most people, or a car payment, electric bill. Imagine what that would do for people. Now, you get really super freakish. How'd you like to make an extra 100 grand a year? And believe me, as these numbers grow, as long as you're following the system and the people that are getting involved in the company are following the system, and sometimes you got to steer people back. Sometimes Bob Rayna hit me on the head with a bat 4 or 5 times because I got sidetracked. Same thing that happened to Minh and Julie. But you got to have somebody that will get you back on track. Somebody may call you up and say, Mark, I got this great idea. You have to have, you've got to say, on what page in the Diamond Rush Guide does it say to do that? Because see, if somebody else does something different, and then other people see somebody doing something different, it's a cancer. Oh my gosh, I'm going to do that. But if everybody's doing the same thing, it's kind of like you ever been to a football game and you're sitting up on the top stadium seats and you're watching 1,000 people in the band. Every one of them's gone the exact same. Everybody's doing the exact same thing. If one person messes up, everybody sees it and it botches up the whole thing. Is that a pretty good analogy? Next slide, please. Why 20? Because out of 20 personally sponsored associates, 3 to 5 will work the business. Maybe the other ones, every now and then they'll work the business. That's okay. Show them some loving. Min's the best at showing people some loving. Some people simply want to use the product. I don't want to say just use the product. Simply want to use the product, and that's okay too. They're called customers. But you know what? Get a whole bunch of people just using the product, that $35 a month, you'll be shocked at what will happen. Always put people through the system. You want to constantly be recruiting, constantly be talking to people. Okay? Don't just sign up 2 or 3 and think it's going to build an army. Ain't going to happen. You got to have yourself a good, well, it says, are you willing to find 40 people who are serious about building their business? Imagine if you had 20 people on this side and 20 people on that side. Honestly, it takes 3 to 5 on each side to really blow up your business. Because that person will bring in somebody who brings in somebody who brings in somebody, and all of a sudden you've got 5,000 somebodies in your organization. It's unbelievable what can happen in the binary. The only way for you to fail is if you quit. There's two ways to not make money in Talk Fusion. Don't join. That's the first one. And obviously quit. Because Talk Fusion will, if you continue to do it, you can't, none of us can blame Talk Fusion if we're not making money. Because somebody comes into your, if somebody signs up, you get paid. I met a guy several years ago. He was a billionaire. And he said, and one of his favorite sayings was, mirror, mirror on the wall, who is the cause and the cure of all my problems? And if we all look in the mirror, it's us. So if what we're doing isn't getting what we want, then obviously we just got to do something a little different. Go ahead, please. Here's that chart. Here's what I was talking about, the Diamond Rush worksheet. You fill this in as fast as you can, and go ahead and do it now. If you've already got a few people signed up, fill that in, because that makes you excited as you're saying, wow. Okay? Person sponsored, 20 on the left, 20 on the right. Help them go bronze. See this? Bronze maker. Become a bronze making machine. Go ahead, please. Building depth, we already talked. I talked about it a couple slides earlier. It's not just working with your personally sponsored associates and hoping that they take you to the promised land. You've got to work. Well, here's why you do that. Build relationships with your downline. There's nobody in this room and nobody in my team that I don't know everybody in the team. There's thousands of them, and I'm sure Minh doesn't know everybody. But what we try to do is that let's say if Gary signs up Alex, and I see that happen, and you should see that happen. You should know what's going on in your business at all times. After a while, you can't, because if you got 50 or 100 people coming in a month or a week or a day or an hour, you can't do that. But I see somebody come into my business, I pick up the phone and I call Gary. I said, Gary, congratulations, man. I saw you just signed up somebody. Let's get him on the phone. Alex, let's get him on the phone. Because I want Alex to know, maybe I wasn't on the three-way call. Maybe he's already met somebody else, but I'm saying, the more people that you know in your organization, the longer they stay around, because they know you care. In other words, employees come and go, but friends stay forever. Sometimes I just pick up the phone and I'll talk to people, and you should too. And it doesn't necessarily have to go right into Talk Fusion. It might just be, hey, how's little Johnny doing a soccer game Saturday? Care about people. Build relationships with people that come into your business. Believe me, it's vital. As you build depth, you'll find leaders. And how do you find leaders? Because they see you doing what you're doing, and they're mimicking everything you're doing. The magic moment. When someone gets involved in a company, they're most excited. New associates, I love this one. New associates really understand how he or she can make their dreams come true with Talk Fusion. Here's how you do that. When someone joins the business, when Alex just joins the business, I'm going to say, Alex, let me ask you a question, because I need to know how serious you are. Why did you get involved in Talk Fusion? How much do you want to make? How much money are you looking to make a month? If Alex says, I want to make $25,000 first month in the business, I'm going to say, Alex, ain't going to happen, buddy. It's possible, but it isn't going to happen. No, I'm serious. Let's be serious here. I actually heard men talking to a guy the other day, and when men sitting around talking to people, or somebody sitting around talking, listen, believe me, you're going to learn a lot. The guy said he was involved in another company. He was making $6,000 a month, and men says, well, what do you want out of Talk Fusion? And he's been in the company 7 years. He said 25,000. Men instantly said, whoa, come on, Alex, come on. Let's be real here. Let's be realistic. He's making a couple hundred a month. So, what would make your world change? What would make you really comfortable? If I could make an extra $4,000 a month, so men said 6,000 or 4,000. Oh, so 10,000. There you go. We can help you make 4,000 a month if you're coachable. So if somebody says yes, I would love to make 25,000. Well, okay, well let's go ahead. Let's see. Would $1,000 in your first 30 days, your first couple of weeks, make you happy? Yeah. If I help somebody make $1,000, if I tell them, see, here's a big misconception. A lot of people get somebody involved. They go, man, hey, we're going to make $5,000, man, a month. This thing's unbelievable. But if that person only makes $500 to $1,000, they feel like you failed them. You lied to them. I always like to under-promise, yet over-deliver. If Alex says $1,000 and I help him make $1,500 in his first 30 days, he's going to go, wow. Next slide, please. So are you ready to make the cut? If you're serious about building your business, you do the following. Talk, listen, and learn. Plug into the Talk Fusion Opportunity presentation. Remember I talked about that earlier? Invite your prospecting team members. Get everybody on there. Say, hey, man, there's a great presentation now. You got anybody coming on? No, I don't. All right, well, I'll see you on it, right? Well, why should I be there? Because I'm going, man. You kidding me? I'm in it. You got to plug in. Every Diamond Rush training you should be on. Unless you're at work, Wednesday afternoon, but you can get on Saturday, so no excuses. Every time there's a live broadcast with our founder, CEO, in other words, as I said, you got to plug in. If you don't plug in, then you're just going to fade away. Corporate events, the Now event. How many people were at the Now event? Was it amazing or what? Yeah. And it's not just a rah-rah, sis-boom-bah type thing. It's about hearing stories, meeting the owner of the company, seeing the pulse of the company, and really the heart of the company. Next slide, please. Now, of course, if you're in the Florida area and you've never actually been to corporate, go there. Touch the building. Yeah, it's real. This company's real. Meet Bob and Allison and the rest of the crew. Listen, this is an amazing company, and it's run by extraordinary people. If not for them, if it was run by a bunch of people that had no clue what they were doing, we wouldn't be where we are. Bob Reyna is, and I know that men touched on it, he is the most relentless, hardest working, Nancy Lopez, how you doing, honey? He is the most relentless, hardest working person, period, I've ever met in my life. I mean, I'm talking, and I used to work 80 to 100 hours a week for many, many, many years in the hot bar sun. So I respect the fact that he is a hard worker, and you can know this in your heart. He will never, ever, ever be second best. He would, you know, like those samurai warriors. You know, when they lose, they'll commit hara-kiri. That's what he would do. He will never be second best. He will always have the best products. It will always be the most powerful comp plan. The support is unbelievable. I mean, you know, you call Talk Fusion 9 to 5, and you believe me, they pick up on the second ring. That's unheard of. Red carpet. You know, this is something that's important. First off, Fusion Buzz. These are powerful. Don't leave home without it. It's kind of like the American Express. Don't leave home without it. You never know. Now, yes, we invite people to webinars, but whilst you meet a sharp person out and about, you give them that before they get to that webinar. It's good. It's good. Sometimes people like stuff in their hands. They like material stuff, but these are powerful. It's almost like a mini webinar presentation, so to speak, in hardback. It's very powerful. Talk Fusion gear. You must have something that says the Talk Fusion. I can't tell you, just being in the hotel, how many people I stand there, whether I was talking to them or not. You see them looking at your logo. What a great way to, you look over at somebody and go, I saw you look, have you ever heard of Talk Fusion? You've heard of Talk Fusion, right? No, what's that? It's a great conversation piece. Now, some people walk around with their Philadelphia, 76ers or what did I say? Philadelphia 76ers, or maybe their Eagles shirt or something like that. You don't get paid for that. Yeah, we like our sports teams. I like walking around with stuff that I get paid for. I get paid to promote Talk Fusion. That's what we are. We're promoters. Very, very important. Pens, shirts, hats. Go back there, buy something. It's actually, there's very nice stuff, and it's very inexpensive. But mainly, every day you walk out of the house, you should have a couple of these. You should all of us should have business cards. Don't ever go anywhere without a business card. That's powerful. But make sure you get somebody, when you're talking to somebody about Talk Fusion, if they don't have a business card, get your pen out with your little pad of paper you have in your back pocket, write down their name and number. Business opportunity presentation schedule. Next slide. This is it. If you walk away today and say, that Abramson and Ho guy, man, they don't know what they're talking about. I'm not doing this. I'm going to do it my way. That's okay. We'll be back here again sometime, have another Diamond Rush training, and you'll be back here again wondering, okay, what do I got to do? This is it. The number one rule of the business is that it does not matter what works for you. What matters is it can be duplicated by everybody. Does everybody understand how powerful that is? I mean, I'm talking to you as I'm not trying to be sarcastic. I'm saying that is it right there. Regardless of how good you are selling or talking to people is good. Don't get me wrong. But if you can't be duplicated, what you're doing can't be duplicated, you will never build an organization that will continue to grow. You may have spurts of, a good week here and all of a sudden nothing's happening. You're like, wow, what's happening? It's because you know what? They're not plugging into the system. Next slide. That's it. So, ladies and gentlemen, here's what I want to challenge everybody to do, and I'll bring Min back up. We'll wrap this up. Of course, I answer any questions that anybody has. I want to challenge everybody, not for the next 6 months or 3 months, for the next 30 days, invite at least 3 to 5 people a day to a webinar. Your goal, and if you got to invite more to get the one, but what if everybody did that? And this nice group of people here, what if every one of you started earning instant pay every day? Would that make everybody happy?
Yes.
But promise yourself, not me, won't promise anybody but yourself, that you're going to follow the system to perfection. And I stand here humbly in front of Minh and Julie, who are making a lot more money than I am. But Minh stands very humbly in front of Bob Rayna, who's making a lot more money than they're making. So again, we just have to. If you were all realtors and I was Donald Trump, even though he's got weird hair, But if I said to you, hey, I'm going to show you all how to become millionaires in real estate, would you listen? Probably not. No, you would think you would. That was a good yes. But I'm saying, but you know, half the room would leave and say that guy's crazy, but the other half would do it. Don't be crazy. Follow the Diamond Rush Guide to perfection, and I want to see everybody. In other words, we want to come back here and we want to fill up that room, that video we saw, 500 seats. That's what we can do that in 90 days if just this group. Now, of course, once you leave here, you get with your teams and you say, hey, we just had the most amazing training with Minh Ho and Mark Robinson. And here's what we're going to do for the next 30 days. Are you in? Nope, I want to do internet marketing. Sound like Bob, didn't I?
Yeah.
No, I want to work on Facebook. The key is what you learned today. Thank you so much for listening. Now, that was actually 35 minutes. I'm going to bring up Minh Ho, who's going to wrap it up. And I want to thank again everybody for coming today. Believe me, we are going to give you a lot of time and attention from the second on. And we look forward to helping all of you get to your goals and dreams. Thank you.
Wow, give Mark a hand.
Yes.
Nancy, good to see you.
Thank you.
Wow.
Hey, Nancy.
What Mark to share with you folks? The words is right here. Priceless. Because we learned from Bob saying, I'm $100 million shy to become a billionaire. They say, wow, Bob. I couldn't think of that. Julie and I, we were so good at it. We call, I'm going to recap this real quick. Ayusin folks sila contented. We were so good at sharing the product. We're good at it. And what happened? Bob saw us sent in the thousands of templates. We thought we were doing good, right? Bob called up and said, how you guys doing? We're doing good, Bob. How are you? And then Bob said, you need about 2,000 a month. How you know that? He sees the revenue report. He said, man, how would you like to earn that $2,000 a day, a month? He said, a month? How about a day? I said, are you kidding me, Bob? He said, I'm $100 million shy to become a billionaire. You think I'm kidding you? You better pay attention, huh? There are 3 wisdoms that he shared with us, and it's in there. But these 3 wisdoms have helped me to stay on course, because I'm very simple. Wisdom number 1. This is what leads to this. This is I learned from Bob. Number 1 is use the product. Yes. To do what?
Build relationships.
That's right. Use the product to build relationships. When I heard that, I settled at peace, because when we were in the mortgage business, when Gary, you and I do business, I send you a nice thank you card. Appreciate you for your business. And that's how we got repeat business over the year. When we saw the video email come across our desk, I said, this is priceless. You remember that little movie, that little kid saying, Joint Talk Vision? Remember that one? And that little girl said, what's up? Remember that one? What's up? When we saw that video, we said, wow, now that's priceless. Because grandma and grandpa, mom and dad, when they see that, that's priceless, right? So if we could capture the personal end of it, I know we do well in business also. So we use the product to build relationships. We use the webinar to build your folks and your family a fortune. That's wisdom number 1. Very important. Use the product, use the webinar. And what happened was we were focusing on the product. And that's okay. I'm going to show you that wisdom number 3. But let's go see wisdom number 2. Remember that one? It's not who you know, yes?
It's who they know.
Now these wisdom have stayed with me and I like tattoos in my head. It's who they know. Again, you can't spell, you still make money. It's not who you know, it's who they know. See, that to me is magic right there. See, I didn't know that. I was focused on who I know. And it let me down when that person, the timing wasn't right to build a business. So I was tearing up inside. So I see this, why don't you see it? So I beat myself up. Remember those excuses and limiting beliefs and all that? So, who they knew. And here example why. When I make a phone, when we made a phone call to Rob. Hey Rob, Minh Ho here, how are you? How things are going? Ah, not good, man. Lost 2 houses, 2 cars, 2 businesses. Stephanie in bed right now. 90% her health is gone. She's about to go. I said, no kidding. And I haven't talked to Rob for 10 years.
Wow.
He came onto the webcast, I invited him. He liked what he saw. And then from then on, went 3-way. Hey Rob, who do you know? Guess who next? Connie. Connie liked what she saw, but the timing wasn't right. Hey Connie, who do you know? She. The timing wasn't right. She likes the business. Hey Sheila, who do you know? Jackie. If you have memory loss, you still get paid.
Love it.
Jackie, what do you think? Who do you know? 2 a.m. in the morning. 3-way call. To Leslie Brown. We were on the phone for a few minutes. Guess what? Now it's hitting 50,000. Is this wisdom number 2 correct?
Yes.
Absolutely. Let me go, you can give you another, I could give you a lot of sample, but right now, let's go to the next one, Rodney. These both, I got it from wisdom number 1. Use a product. What happened? Happy Thanksgiving, Merry Christmas, New Year, Happy 4th of July. They all got it. Rodney did the same thing. He owned a red carpet cleaning business. So he saw all these videos. Guess what happened? Made a phone call. He gave me 3-4 names. And then this 5th one, guess who?
Mark
If I have him go from here, Martin Eves, get what Martin Eves know. Sublime. Should don't be Russian, please. Out of UK. In the last 2.5 months, we were in Europe. In the last 2.5 months, now it's up to 30,000. Russians have arrived. If haven't doing what Mark talking about, folks, that's wisdom number 2. That's why we are very focused on this group right now in Philadelphia. I could share you story after story. With wisdom number 3. When you sell the product, Bob says you make some money. Some money. There you go. See, we thought the money is in the product. So we chase it like no tomorrow. let me give you an idea. There were days that would start from 7 in the morning to 2 in the morning the next day. We were on the phone helping clients, help them to use the product. We became what we call customer service. Whoa, we got a problem here. We got bills coming in, piling. And here we help somebody at $35 a month. We love our customer, don't get me wrong. I mean, we help them. But Bob saw our focus. This is the cliff. He saw we were heading that direction 3 months in the business. And he saw the way we kept going, we wouldn't be here in 2 months. Because the bills were getting higher and higher. And he knows we like to help customers, nothing wrong with that. But our focus was on the product. So he said, me and how we'd like to make $2,000 a month to $2,000 a day. Right? So share the product, make some money. Share the opportunity. You make crazy money. Now crazy money, what's that mean?
Unlimited.
You know, for me it's 80,000 to $500,000. That's crazy money. For me. I don't know about you, but from here make some money. $1,000, $2,000, $3,000 a month. I haven't seen anybody come in this business the last 18 months make more than $3 grand sharing the product. Because it's not duplicatable. And here's why. I've got people that come up to me and say, man, I recruit 80, I recruit 100 members, but none of them duplicate. You know why? Because business owners, guess what? They're so busy building their own business. They're not out there able to do what we do. Now, are we needing the customer? Yes, of course. But this is where we come in. We tap into their database. And we will help that person build a business. That's different. You're chasing the products, that's okay. To gain that customer, yes. But we go further than that. We are looking for lookers. On your computer, what you want to do, you put, we are looking for another Leslie Brown. We're looking for another Rob. We're looking for another
Mark.
We're looking for another. So whoever that you have, put 7 pictures in there. Because when you make the phone call, that person could be another Leslie Brown, that phone call. Do not prejudge. We are in the sorting game. We would call, some will become customers, some will become Leslie Brown, some will become, what, both. It's okay. Now if a person say no, that means not now, yes? We put in a photo called CWT. What's that mean? That means Chinese water torture. In a kind way. Okay? So when you share the event, what's that mean? You make insane. Insane means 500 plus to 7-figure lifestyle. How could you make money in a recession? It's unbelievable. Cloud Fusion. We've been looking for companies for many years. There are a lot of games out there, and a lot of comp plan that is what we call, you gotta have so many customers, you gotta have so many recruits, you have to have so many total group volume before you get rewarded. This is called games and gotchas. We don't have time for games and gotchas. Our family is hurting, people are hurting. We're looking for a company that's straightforward and help people. That's why I'm doing all that. So, this event here is like upcoming Russia. Anytime event from the corporate, anytime leaders tour, you invite guests.